Uh, so how does one define happiness in the way that you said? If I do not want to stop at satisfaction, I want to say I'm a little more greedier. I want that high that happiness brings. First question, is it wrong in your eyes?
No, it's not.
There are times when I'm successful doing something wrong. Wrong means I get the sense of excitement of happiness at times. It could be as simple as getting to eat a pizza of the kind that I like, and I get whatever I want at that point of time. So those kind of little happinesses keep happening in life. Um, I start taking them for granted. It's not a big deal because they are really not even like those tick mark of big happinesses. I don't even count. You and I met, we go for a coffee, and that kind of coffee turns out to be like strong filter coffee that I and you perhaps like. So we are like, yeah, okay, this is. We don't even count it as important,
Yeah.
but it gives us happiness. So we take it for granted.
Yes, yes, we do.
Now my question is, because you specified satisfaction, that's where my question comes from. So that is satisfaction, but I don't even look at it as happiness. I have the money, uh, and I can afford to go there, pay some money, and get that happiness. Why are you calling it happiness? It is I have earned it, and I have earned it. It's not even my dad's money. I have worked, and whatever, all that is also perfect. Now, in that scenario, how does one start seeing that as happiness? Are you saying is there a role that gratitude has to play, perhaps, to also
Absolutely.
negate the
Absolutely. Gratitude, gratitude, if we follow every moment with gratitude, then it's like, you are earning happiness penny by penny, putting it in a piggy bank every day.
okay?
So you do not value a penny in front of 1,000 rupees. But if you collect those small happy moments as a penny in your piggy bank, it's going to become 1,000 because it's making you feel good about yourself. So definitely nothing has to be taken for granted. Nothing.
So I want to build up on
Oh,
this a bit. Sorry, sorry. You want
so another question that you said, that if you want to aim big, the greediness or something that you're talking about, it's not greediness. I mean, okay, if you have worked on that, okay, you have aspired to achieve something which is big, you do work on it. It also depends on how much value you give to that particular goal that you have set. If you have given that 100% value, you will definitely work towards it according to 100% value that you have given it. But if you say it, but you do not value it 100% and you're valuing it 30-40%, your efforts are going to be according to the value you give to that particular goal.
ah,
तो अगर वो वैल्यू आप देते हो तो आपका डिटर्मिनेशन उसकी तरफ बढ़ना ही. But at the same time, in this run of achieving something big, there has to be a grounding or anchoring. If that doesn't happen, then we may fail. If in uncertainty, if success does not strike, if failure strikes, then where will we go? There has to be some grounding, right? It's like you be rooted but achieve. So that there comes the concept of detachment. I want it, but I'm okay if I don't get it. Does that lessen my effort towards achieving it? No. So there are times I'm very excited about my clothes. I love trying with different fabrics and designs or whatever. But I know if at this point of time I need to give it to someone else, I am perfectly fine. So if that detachment mode is on again with everything, we can still achieve everything and we'll be fine. Even if we do not achieve it, we'll be fine. And yet we will strive for whatever we want as well. We are not stagnant. Efforts are put every day because there is gratitude, because there is value, because things are not taken for granted, because I want to utilize the best that I have been given. If I do not fall in love with where I am, I will not be able to value what I get further. So I guess everything is deeply rooted with all this.
Okay, you kind of answered the question that I was about to ask. For the benefit of people who are listening in or watching this episode. Um, the question that I was going to ask you is, uh, how does one uh, build upon this penny to 1,000 rupees? Because the idea perhaps uh, is gratitude, of course, but you did answer it the way that every time you have to be satisfied with what you have also. As much as you keep yearning and aspiring, that was the answer that you already gave. The question was that at every stage, how do you do it? So every stage you say, I'm happy with this. Now I want to push it a little further again. An interesting thought crossed my mind. Because I'm an advertising writer and I work a lot with concepts. A couple of years back, I was working on a concept where I discovered that the 4 minute mile is a concept that was discovered sometime. People before the first guy ran a mile in less than 4 minutes thought that it was impossible as a dream. And apparently, because this was again when I was doing my research, this is not proven that it happened in the way that I am narrating it, but just for sense of discussion. After the first guy did it, within the next 2 years or something, in a little time, there were 20 odd people who had also broken the 4 minute mile barrier. Now, in the terms of possibilities, I want to bring in the happiness as an impossibility to start with as a concept here, because we are now talking about a sense of achievement that perhaps nobody else has done before us, or at least in our lives. I want to bring it down to even normal things. Say, for example, when I had not done a podcast earlier, uh, the whole idea, I remember there was one day I actually sat down to cry because I recorded myself and I said it perfectly, but I just hated the idea of being on camera and I just could not stand it. And the only feedback that I had got before that, when I was trying to work on the values workshop, that you should have videos. They are the ones that work the best. And now I was caught in a 2020 situation, you know, uh, like I had to, catch 22 situation is what I meant to say. So, should I do this? I don't like it. I don't want to be on camera. I am a very private person. But this happiness of putting out something, putting out vulnerability, week after week, getting people to share their inner selves. How am I going to make it possible? Who is going to do this with me? And firstly, how will I get on camera? I don't like to be on camera. What is it that I'm going to do? And I was like, I just sat down to cry completely. Like I had broken down. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I want to do this because it's almost like it gives my life a lot of happiness. Okay. Now I have a purpose to doing something. It was those days, I think last March. So anyway, I decided, okay, let us see what happens. And I was talking to a friend, and then she says, do you want to do a podcast? Let's do it. And I'm like, okay, you'll do it with me. Yeah, let's do it. Even I have never done one before. I was like, okay. And we started with an audio podcast. I think the first couple of them were audio podcasts. And in fact, the first one that we put out was a what I used to call a practice podcast. She keeps saying that you conned me into doing a practice podcast and then you put it out there and the world knew that what we were talking about. So the question I want to bring to in the happiness sense is our limited understanding of things not only affects our aptitude, which obviously it does, like you said, rightly pointed out, but also the kind of effort that we put in. So how does one bring in the sense of humility that you're saying um, time to time when one is so let me give it a context to the podcast as well, because we started on saying the pursuit of happiness, Now, as your answers go along, I am finding there is a healthy disinterest in the self-seeking happiness. But happiness itself is
This
a concept, and when it comes to you. So these are two different ways I would want to look at it, considering the answers you've given. Because every
Can
time
you repeat the disinterest aspect that you just said? You think there is disinterest in pursuing happiness?
the self-seeking happiness. So there is a sense of you're working. You're not getting what you want, but you seem to be getting something else again and again, which makes you slightly happy, which you do not realize. Now I'm just trying to be very specific. So if I'm pursuing like when I wanted to be a writer, I'll continue that example. So in my first year, I was not a graduate. I had a diploma in engineering. And by the time within, I just kept a goal for myself. In my first year, I would join what was at that point HTA, the number one agency in the country. I said that's my goal. In I think 9 months or 10 months, I got an interview there. I passed all the levels of interviews, and just when I was being given my appointment letter, they realized I was not a graduate. For some reason, they said their union has this. I said, but it does not reflect on anything. They said, yeah, but we will not be able to hire you. I said, okay, in next 2, 3 months, if I get a degree, those years, I think there was a University of Osmaniabad, which was quite not known for the right reasons because people who were duffers or not good at their studies used to go there. I said, whatever, you want a degree, I'll get one degree in 3 months. They said, no, but you will have to go through the entire interviews all over again. We can't promise you a job. We can't wait for you. And just like that, there was a slip between the cup and the lip. I started every day of my life as a writer asking my senior whether I was good enough. I was almost good enough, and I was losing it on a technicality. So at that point of time, I told myself, now I am good enough. I don't want your job to tell myself I am good enough. So the question I had was this healthy disinterest in oneself means earlier I was equating getting that job in that particular agency as the reason of my happiness or as what would make me happy. But actually, what was making me happy was becoming a good writer. And I was becoming one because that proved to me that I had passed all the interviews that I had and I had reached the final level. So there was some merit in the way that I had learned in these 365 days or whatever, 300 days of working. Now, my question to you is how does one have that? And I convinced myself with a sense of pride instead of this, although I felt dejected. Until date, I do not know. Sometimes I feel I would have been a different person had I got the job. But what was to be was to be. And in 6, 7 years, what I meant was earlier was that I got the same job uh, in a bit of a higher position, higher salary. But yeah, it was. So my question is, how does one develop that sense of humility? When do you? So, for example, if I were a Sachin Tendulkar and I was working to he got his hundredth after a lot of pain. If the whole country was on his back and saying, when is he going to get it? When is he going to get it? I think he also got stressed out about a record that was in a way unimportant, considering that he was already the topmost batsman in the world. Now, how does one have that requisite humility to relook at oneself to
So,
get this one?
your example, wherein you really struggled, to get your stance at that particular company, it was the value that you had added for achieving that particular goal. It is like, you want to climb a mountain, okay? But you would first anchor somewhere. This is my goal, right? The first anchor. Now
Oh,
you went there. You had planned that, okay, that's where I will place next. But the situations are such, it is provoking you to place your leg and arm somewhere else, right? So as per you anchor the first time, it will it might change the situation wherein it will provoke you to anchor somewhere else wherein you are not even decided.
ah,
Like if if you did not, if you had so much of value to this particular goal, but that pressure, it really nurtured you so well that you became a very good writer. So the moment you become grateful, if it would not have been for this pressure, you would not have become a good writer. The openings happened when there was pressure. So if you are aware of that part, that if I would not have had that kind of a pressure and if I would have got the job, I wouldn't have taken so much pains to work on myself to become a writer. So it was a blessing in disguise. So the moment you honor it, the humility and the grounding will happen. That is what gratitude is, right?
Yeah. How
For
to
every
remind
step.
oneself